Hello and welcome to another C tutorial video. In this one we will see how to apply Malloc, Calloc and Realloc, the three functions for allocating memory. I will also describe the differences between them. So let's get started. We will have again a simplified example. We will allocate memory for integers, and we will define the number of integers we want to have. Number of integers, let's say 10. And the first function, I will have it, I will maybe comment it out later on. Let's say we have a pointer to integers called calloc, size of int times number of integers. That's the first function. The second one would be calloc. It is a bit different. It accepts two arguments. The first one is the count. We will say number of integers, and the second one is the size. We will say size of integer. And the final one, which is realloc, it accepts two. The first one is the block. Let's see. It's a pointer to void, so we can pass in our foo, which is a pointer, and then we again need the size. Let's say size of integers times number of integers times 2. Or let's say resized, and let's say we have 30. Okay, we get here a warning. We will ignore that. It's not so important in our case. It's important to free the memory at the end. And now we will iterate over our allocated space. Number of integers. Since I'm recording just this instance of Visual Studio, I cannot show you the console output. However, I will use a debugger so that you can also see the values. Perfect. Now let's comment this out. Not like this. Interesting. I just want to comment out single lines. Yes, like this. And we shouldn't forget, if this is null, return. Okay, it keeps the running. Nevertheless, we can start. Below here we can observe our variables. The first line indicates our variable foo, which is a pointer to integer, and at the specific address, at the specific position, namely position 0, we have the value minus 8 million or something. So if we step over, we have now the counter. The counter was increased. We have again this negative number. As you can see, the space which is allocated via malloc has a undefined number. So it could be anything. In our case, we have now minus a negative number, and here we can now, when we use now calloc, we can see the difference. In case of calloc, we get assigned values for our specific address, namely the value 0. The value 0 is assigned at any position, as you can see. So if you have, for instance, a memory allocated which serves as a, for instance, flag, you could assign that, for instance, with zeros, and then just switch the value to 1, and in order to for masking or for marking, you could use that. So difference is you get assigned a value. In our case it's 0, and here it's undefined. And the thing with realloc is we can reallocate memory for a pointer. So we can reallocate space, so we can increase the space of a pointer. We can increase it and also decrease it. So now we have our foo, which is assigned null, and we reallocate. It's null, so at the end it should have like this one here, resized, this size here, resized number of integers, right? And yeah, we could cast it since it returns a pointer to void. Okay, perfect. Now let's have a look. Realloc reallocates memory. However, it doesn't assign any values. So we have again here this negative number, as you can see. However, I shouldn't forget that we can do this. Now we have 30 values, 30 integers. We can iterate over, and as you can see, it doesn't change. We have this negative number. So for instance, what would happen if we collect some memory and reallocate it? So at first we have like 10 integers, and we get assigned the value 0 for any integer in our memory. We can also cast this. Okay, and then we reallocate. Let's say we want to increase to 30, not we want to increase it by the factor 3. So we get 20 new elements. However, these 20 new elements aren't assigned any value. So let's see what happens. Okay, we iterate over, we have the counter 0. As you can see, we have the value 0. As we reach the 10th value, we will see that we have again this negative number. It's basically not assigned anything, so it holds this negative number. However, we have reallocated it, so it got resized, and now we can use also that space. So to sum it up, we have Malloc, Calloc, and Realloc. In case of Malloc, we allocate memory without assigning any value. In case of Calloc, we get assigned the value 0. And in case of Realloc, we reallocate memory for a specific space, and we can increase it by size or decrease it, and again here no value is assigned for newly allocated space. I hope this brief example helps you to understand the difference between these three functions, and feel free to ask questions if you have any, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial video. Until then, stay tuned and see you.